Peace, beloveds. Najee back once again, checking in, beloveds. We got a good conversation that we're gonna have today, man. So grab your beet juice, grab your water, stay hydrated, beloveds. This conversation is important for every man. So every man under 40 and everyone who cares about a man that's under 40, right? Like this is a conversation that you can't ignore. So testosterone, beloveds, like it's vanishing, right? And we have clinical studies that have been done in the US and in Europe that show like the average T levels have dropped about 20 to 25% in just the past two generations, beloved. So that means like our grandfather's baseline at 40, 45 might be higher than ours at 28, 30, 35, however old you are, right? Even if you lift, you run, you meal prep, whatever. Crazy stat, right? But this isn't just a vanity metric, beloved. So testosterone, it drives so much, right? It drives muscle development, mood stability, like bone strength, bone density, right? Fertility, metabolic health, cardiovascular health, like being able to get it up, like being able to get and maintain a firm erection, beloved. Like Lord have mercy. Like that's why I do so much to stay active, beloved, because testosterone is your code to being a man. It's your code, beloved. It's your DNA to being a man, right? And so when we think of this, like I don't think most people realize like the effects of low testosterone, right? So low T is linked to a bunch of things, right? And a lot of things that we're seeing like increase as the years continue to go on. So it's been linked to a lot of things like a rising rate in depression, like abdominal belly fat, uh, being pre-diabetic, like all these things are happening in young men. Like I'm talking about, guys from like 25 to 35, 25 to 40, right? Which is, kind of crazy to be dealing with, metabolic issues like that at such a young age, right? But we got to look at what's causing this, beloved. So I think it's being caused by a couple things. Number one, like plastics, right? Like endocrine disrupting plastics. So, BPA, phthalates, microplastics from, bottles and takeout containers and Tupperware, like even receipts, like all these things, like they mimic estrogen, right? And they mute or stop testosterone production at the cellular level. So, when things like this happen over time, beloved, like it's compounding interest, right? Like uh, think of your body as like a stock, if you will, right? Like if you hold long enough, it's gonna. And if you keep doing something over an extended period of time, it's gonna continue to compound. Even things like sleep debt, right? Sleep debt, like LED lights, like blue lights, whatever. Like that's an overload, right? And so, testosterone is created during, your REM, like your deep REM sleep cycles, right? So doom scroll until 1 o'clock in the morning, under LED lights, like it kind of, chops those cycles short. So you're cutting testosterone short for the next day. Once again, compounding interest. And then we can't forget about this, beloveds. Stress, cortisol, like chronic cortisol, right? So, high pressure work environments, doom scrolling, news feeds and, constant alerts. Like I probably get on my phone, I probably get about 70 to 80 just alerts, push notifications through my phone, like every single day, beloveds. And that can lock the body in fight or flight mode. And that's important because like cortisol's chemistry is like a direct suppressor of like developing and producing testosterone, right? And so when all this is happening, what I just mentioned, like you add in processed food, and constantly been, sedentary, living a sedentary lifestyle, um, environmental pollutants, and you have a perfect recipe, beloveds, for hormone disruption. But, but, like that decline is not your destiny. Like once again, like you hold the cards, beloved. So you can do things to change this. So, being, in the gym, weight training, Using plastic free meal storage, right? So getting rid of your Tupperware, using, stainless steel or glass, um, getting some sun in the morning at the crack of dawn, being disciplined with your sleep hygiene, beloved. Like all of that can resurrect, natural testosterone production. But the first step is awareness, beloved. Like knowing that slide is happening like right now around all of us. Like it's impacting me as a healthy man as much as it's impacting the next man, right? So, once you see like the signs of what's going on, beloved, you got to do better. So, like I said, man, like audit your home first, right? So, audit the plastics, like replace that, those shaker bottles, those Tupperware with like stainless steel and glass, like use stuff that's BPA free. Um, and then also, train, beloveds, like get in the gym and train with intent, right? Like heavy compound lifts. So, presses, your squats, your deadlifts, like all of these send a signal to your Leydig cells, right? Like your Leydig cells are like inside of your testes, and they tell your testes to build more testosterone. And then you gotta literally sleep like your life depends on it, beloved, because it actually does. So, like blackout curtains, um, phone on do not disturb or focus mode, whatever. Like sometimes you might gotta place it outside the room. Having a consistent bedtime, like deep REM sleep between 10 and 2 a.m. Like that's prime time for your luteinizing hormone, which is like that switch. It's like an on and off switch that tells your testes to fire up that testosterone production, beloved. So if you miss that window, I mean, you miss tomorrow's as well. And then as men, beloveds, like we gotta master stress. So cortisol destroys testosterone, right? But stress isn't, it's not going nowhere. Like it just depends on how we manage it. So we gotta learn how to transmute it, so to speak, right? So, doing things from, you know, just blocking out time for you, right? Like always being on. As men, like we're counted on to provide and just hold so many different positions in so many people's life. But we can't forget, beloveds, about us. You know what I'm saying? You can't be everything to everybody without giving nothing to yourself, beloveds. It just don't work that way. It just doesn't. And so we gotta recognize, like, there's a bigger game right here, beloved. So low T isn't just about, you know, weaker lifts or like just having a bad mood. It's I would classify low T as like a disarmament, so to speak, right? So think about this, like you have like an entire generation that's just running on fumes, right? Like don't know where to go, like lacking direction, like struggling to build businesses, defend communities, like all this stuff, beloved. So reclaiming testosterone is what I would call it is an act of sovereignty, right? So, strategize your environment, beloveds. Like I said, look in your house, look at where you stay at, right? Like air out your bedrooms on a daily basis, right? So you have indoor toxins like formaldehyde that can suppress, androgen receptors. Start using filters on your water, right? Chlorine and fluoride, like they can inhibit, thyroid function, which can indirectly, destroy and tank your testosterone. And I know a lot of brothers, they got tech jobs or whatever. So, you sitting down 7, 8 hours a day. Maybe you might want to, schedule some time on your calendar every hour or so. I'm gonna go for a walk. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just move and get up, get some blood flowing. You might want to get a standing desk, beloved. I don't know, but the goal is to continue to move and not be stagnated. And then also, beloveds, like, feed your endocrine engine. Like all of our hormones sit within our endocrine system. So, feed that engine, beloveds, with vitamin A, zinc, magnesium, selenium. Those are like the raw bricks of, building like testosterone. And not even that, but just our hormone architecture, right? And then, you want to pair that with cruciferous vegetables, right? To clear excess estrogen. So I'm thinking about like kale, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, things like that. So when diet and discipline, beloveds, when you have those two, like they lay the foundation, you might want to, get you some supplements, beloved. You might want to get you, a natural testosterone production. That includes what I just mentioned, our natural testosterone booster. Like it includes like zinc, it includes magnesium. It also includes horny goat weed that boosts nitric oxide. It also includes Tunkat Ali, which enhances blood flow and your libido, beloveds. So herbs, man, like don't forget about herbs and all this. Like they amplify, but only after lifestyle is grounded. So let's think about that, beloveds. And also, I gotta speak about this. So a lot of meatheads, you might see guys that buff out of this world, um, but they taking TRT, beloveds, testosterone replacement therapy. And I know before you rush to like a clinic for, that type of solution, understand that, they come with a lot of side effects. Yes, like you get weekly injections, like, you'll see a spike here and there, like levels may rise fast, but the body reads that flood as like an external takeover, right? And so when that happens, like natural production, it starts to shut down. Like your testicles start to shrink. Like, and even if you miss a dose, right? Like you travel without, properly storing it, you got to be stored in like a cold chain storage. Like, or even if you face like a supply shortage, right? A supply glitch, like you'll see like the ramifications behind that. You'll be fatigued, you'll have mood swings, you'll have erectile instability, right? A lot starts to go south. And then also like TRT, like it thickens the blood, right? And so that raises your risk of blood clots. Elevated estrogen can also follow, right? And so your skin starts to look bad. You start to get acne, along with things like prostate enlargement as well, and that can increase the risk of prostate cancer. So at that point, beloved, you basically have traded biological sovereignty for dependency, which is kind of masquerading itself as optimization. That's a popular buzzword amongst the wellness bros. Um, but it's just not that's just not an option that I would go with, beloved. There's better ways to increase your testosterone without going for the short quick fix. And doctors doctors like to market testosterone replacement therapy as like I guess like a fountain of youth, but like they skip the root causes of it, right? Like sleep debt, plastics that are all over our house, right? Nutrient deficiency, high stress, high cortisol, like all these things matter, beloved. So you correct those, you fix those or whatever, and many men can see their testosterone rebound like close to 200, 300 points without no prescription or no hormone roller coaster, so to speak, right? So man, listen, like Jay-Z has this line. I forgot exactly what song it is, but it's off the Magna Carta album. He says, I'm just trying to come from under the thumb of this regime. 1% of a billion more than niggas ever seen. Still, they want to act like it's an everyday thing. They want to act like it's an everyday thing, beloved. And what I mean by that is the regime, the white coast, the pharmaceutical companies, even the food companies, right? Like they want this to be an everyday thing. They want obesity to be an everyday thing. They want metabolic issues, cardiovascular issues to be like an everyday thing, beloved. They don't want us to sleep well. They don't want us to be in shape, right? They distract us with BS that takes us out of our zone, beloveds. It's all like, and sometimes I hate getting this deep because some people just will never catch on, but everything is it's a machine behind it, beloveds. It's a machine. It's a machine, beloved. So, you know, tonight, man, just like think about this, beloved. Like stand in front of a mirror and ask yourself, like, am I outsourcing my power or am I engineering it? Right? Like real strength daily. Like that's a daily choice, right? So things like, being in the gym, lifting heavy weights, like blue light, blocking that out the way. Whole foods that are seasoned with purpose, beloved, with some real TLC behind it. You dig what I'm saying? Like when you lock in those fundamentals, beloved, like testosterone stops being like a mystery, right? Like you can actually start to feel it, right? It becomes predictable, right? Like you stack those type of wins, beloved. You get your deep REM sleep. You add cruciferous vegetables to remove excess estrogen out the body. You take your herbs, like you see the difference. You see the difference, beloveds. You will see the difference, man. And Hove, he got another line. He got another line, man. It's coming to me, man. He got another line where he says, "I should have known better, and I planned to, but dog, they be taking me out of my zone like a nigga with a handle." I'm gonna repeat that again. I should have known better. We all know better, beloveds, and I plan to. We all plan to do better, but dog, they be taking me out of my zone like a nigga with a handle. Let me break that down for the people who may not understand what a zone is, what a handle is, may not be versed in basketball, whatever. So a zone is a type of defense that you play to protect yourself, to protect your field goal from stopping the other team from scoring, right? So you might run a 1-2-2, you might run a 2-3, whatever. So your zone is what you do, beloved. It's staying mentally fit. It's staying physically fit. It is getting enough sleep to repair yourself mentally and physically for the next day. It's eating the right type of foods to fuel your body, to give you energy throughout the day, to be aligned and stay aligned and walking in your purpose, right? Like that's your zone. Like that's your protection for your body, for your mental, right? But a nigga with a handle can easily break that zone. So think of AI, think of Kyrie, um, think of Jamal Crawford, CP3, like niggas that just got a nice handle. It's just like that when they see a zone, like they light up because they know they can easily break it. The handle is the fast foods that's filled and pumped with a lot of estrogen, right? And a lot of us have been eating fast food since we was like yay high. So at that point, unless you have the mental fortitude now as an adult to want to actually do better, and plan to do better, that's all you might know. So that's a part of the handle as well. That's another distraction. The distraction also, the Don Julio bottles on the head, beloved. It's like at this age, it's okay to take a step back, maybe opt for some wine, something a little lighter, beloveds, that won't just have you feeling sluggish the next day, having you feeling what the hell is going on. And even wine, like you might want to bounce back on how much you might drink per month or per year, whatever. All I'm saying is cut down on the alcohol. That's another handle, beloveds. And then like doom scrolling, the constant loop of being entertained through IG, through TikTok. That's another handle. And it lights up when they see a zone because they know it can easily be broken, beloveds. So all I'm saying is, man, there's a whole line for everything, beloveds. So do you hear me or are you listening, beloveds? There's a big difference. Do you catch the lines and the hooks or are you still fishing, man? Don't mind me. I'm just a hip hop head turned tech founder, beloved. But I say all this to say in all seriousness, like a drop in your testosterone, like it isn't destiny, like it isn't etched in stone. It's just a warning sign, beloved. It's like look at it as that, right? So you answer it with the multitude of things that we just talked about, right? So darkness in the bedroom, um, lifting weights, or not even lifting weights, motion. However, you got to get that motion in, get it in, beloveds. But as men, we do need to lift heavy weights. Um, Getting good REM sleep, beloveds, allowing your body to go through that repair cycle. So 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Those are the most precious hours that you can be sleep to get that full repair that the body needs and the mind needs to operate. Sunlight, beloveds, waking up at the crack of dawn, letting the sun touch your skin, beloveds, supplementation, like all these things are vital to reclaiming your testosterone. So, with that being said, beloveds, I'm about to jet out of here, man. I got some things I got to do, beloveds, but stay sharp, man. Stay vigilant and do what you got to do to protect yourself, beloveds. Protect your neck. With that being said, man, I'm out.